Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm Keisha, and here's my pimple. I wanted to jump on this video here and talk about something I don't really see too much about, or maybe I wasn't looking hard enough, but the topic of when people say act your age. Why I feel that you should take heed to it slightly, maybe a little bit, but for the most part, you should ignore it. The reason I say that you should ignore it is because they're going by what society as a whole thinks that a person at a certain age should act or look like or have, things of that nature. And me personally, and I get this all the time, and it used to bother me, and I'm a human being. Sometimes it does bother me, but at the end of the day, when I adhere to being myself, I feel better. So whatever that looks like to me. I do get some people who say, how come you don't act your age, or you might act immature, or, blah, blah, blah. First of all, I don't even know how to answer that, because it's like, I'm not trying to act anything other than myself. So to say that, why don't I act a certain way, is telling me that you don't want me to act like myself, And when I think about that, if you don't want me to act like myself, then why are you around me? Or, well, I shouldn't say that. Why does it bother you so much? I come to this conclusion because it's like, there are so many fake people in this world. Oh my gosh. Like, this is all related. But when I say fake people, you can literally get a person who acts one way with a different person and acts another way with another person based upon what they think that person acts like, whether you think they act their age or not, whatever the case may be. If I were to do that, well, okay, certain scenarios, of course, you should be more mature and things of that nature. Say, for instance, a parent-teacher conference, don't have the teacher guessing who's the parent and who's the student. It shouldn't be that drastic. You should be mature in that aspect. Oh, this pimple is really like there. Anyway, so you should be mature in that aspect. But when it comes to like day-to-day living, like if you were around me 24/7, you'd be like, why you act so goofy all the time? And I'm like, that's the only way I can survive in this world sometimes. I ain't gonna say survive, just that's the only way I can cope with my environment, if that makes sense. I don't even think I look at it as being immature. I like being eccentric, I've always been like that, even as a little kid. I look at things differently. I process things differently, and it may look weird or eccentric to others, And I remember that when I was in a low mental phase in my life, I just wanted people to like me. So I was like, let me conform to what they want me to do. So I used to always like dress like business or business casual all the time. I didn't really speak until I was spoken to, things like that. I feel like they felt better that I was dimming my light, and I felt worse because I was dimming my light. And when that happens, you got to ask yourself, why do you feel that you should, I guess, disrespect me or try to make me conform to your ideology of what I should be in your life? As some of y'all may know, as of this recording, I'm 40 years old, and I'll be 41 in 2 months. And I realized when I turned 40 how much I enjoy being 40, which is kind of weird. Like, I have this young mentality, this, happy-go-lucky kind of way of looking at things, almost like childlike or kid-like. But being 40 is probably the happiest I've ever been in my life, because at the age of 40, I feel like I'm still young enough to get things done, make something out of my life, or make something in this world per se, and I'm not judging anybody who's older who thinks they can't do much or anything. It's just more like, this is how I look at things. Like, I'm still young enough to work, But at the same time, I have gained so much wisdom from my 20s and 30s. A lot more wisdom. But just because I act all happy-go-lucky doesn't mean I'm not wise. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to my own horn. Is just that, I've been through so many different phases in my life that I had to take away something. What I learned when it comes to acting my age, or not acting my age as somebody put it, I learned how to discern people really well. I learned how to spot out a fake person really quickly. I learned when it comes to the dating world, like if a guy, he really wants to genuinely get to know me, or he wants to manipulate me. It's really weird. Speaking of manipulation, not saying that this guy did it, but I had to put this out there. When I went swimming one day, I met this guy, and he would look like he's about 10 years older than me and stuff, which I married somebody 10 years older than me, and I don't think I want to do that again. But anyway, I digress. We got to talking. We only had a 5-minute conversation, and, we talked about getting together again. He even thought that because of my personality and how I am, he thought that I was 10 years younger than what I am. So, I'm flattered. But at the same time, you can tell he was just looking for somebody young. If you know, sometimes there are some people, you can tell when there's an older man who's just looking for someone to treat as a toy, not as a human being. And he gave me that vibe, like, I don't think he really wanted to get to know me as a person. I just think he just needed a toy, and take that as you want. There's a reason why there's some men date younger women, and it's not about looks. I promise you, it's not always about looks. He texted me and said he wanted to get together. I made up some excuse, but I was trusting my gut. I wanted to trust my gut and say that I should stay away from this guy. So I made up some lie. Now, mind you, I'm not saying to lie to people, but if I only have a 5-minute conversation with you, I don't really feel obligated to explain myself, whether it's truthful or not. I really don't feel no obligation towards it. So I didn't show up. He kept texting. I kept ignoring his texts. So I just ghosted him pretty much. Now, this was October of last year. So October 2024. It is now January 2025. And this dude he still texts. I ghost. He tried to call me from a different number. He tried to text me from a different number. Finally he used his own number and called, and that by this point, and this was earlier this week, I was really annoyed because it was like, you're not getting the picture. Again, you're not getting the picture. So I picked up and I told him to lie that, I had a boyfriend and everything, but I still feel like he's gonna call again. So again, that's where it is with boundaries and everything. And I feel like because of my young spirit, going back to, my, acting my age per se, for some reason, I feel like this guy just thought that because of my mentality that he feels obligated, he feels obligated to occupy my time, And again, not to get to know me as a person, I really feel like you just got to meet this guy. I really feel like he just didn't have my best interest at heart, if that makes sense. So, yeah. Oh, that's better lighting. I don't like to put the camera down because, it makes it, you see all this here. But, I mean, it's better. So, forgive me for looking down at you. Don't let what people say about how you act, how you dress, your life choices get you down. And I'm saying this not only to you, but for myself. Because at the end of the day, people who go out their way, whether they know you or not, to kind of insult your personality, they really are insecure. They got some mental issues going on. Because me personally, I don't feel the need to tell anybody what they do or anything like that. Now, if you're harming somebody, that's something. But if you're not harming anybody, you're just living your life, you're happy, you're thriving, don't let anybody get to you. Just don't. Even like when you go on social media, you just see people's highlights. You don't see what's going on behind the scenes. You don't see that couple who gets into a fight or argument every other time. You don't see that the guy with the muscles who struggles with body dysmorphia, or who may have an ED problem. You don't see the popular influencer who is actually going bankrupt from buying so much clothes to impress people online. You know, things like that. You don't see the real picture. So just be yourself. Yeah. I mean, all you can do is just be yourself, because no matter what, there's going to be somebody that just don't like you, that just don't like you, that don't like how you are, and that's their problem, you know? I was told to grow up ever since I was like 15, 16 years old. As you get older, they still want you to grow up. You know, it's like, it's never enough. It's never enough. That's the thing. Those people will never see you as enough. So you got to see that within yourself, and you got to be around people that see that as well. And I know that's easier said than done, since a lot of people keep to themselves now. But generally speaking, just find a community that enjoys who you are. You know, like there's some communities that I join, and they say that they like my spirit. You know, like I tell them my plans and stuff, and they're happy for me, and I'm happy. So it's not you, it's them. So remember that. I really want you to drill that in your head, that it's not you, it's them. All right. So yeah.